Hey everyone, this is Ananya and welcome to our channel Milana, the travel freak bong couple. Today we are back with the second episode of our South Australia travel series. Few months ago, we took this 5-day trip to Adelaide in South Australia where we explored some famous wineries, natural beauties, historical buildings and experienced this iconic horse tram ride which we would be sharing with you all here. So if you enjoy our travel vlogs, please to hit the like button and subscribe our channel for more such videos. Our first stop for the day was Mount Lofty Summit, located in the Adelaide Hills, which is the highest point in Adelaide.
So after checking into the hotel and having a quick breakfast, we stepped onto our first stop in Adelaide, and that is the Mount Lofty Summit. It's in the Adelaide Hills, right away from the city. It takes around 20 minutes from the city, and it will give you a very good view with lush greenery all around. And this summit will also give a total panoramic view of the Adelaide city as well.
Every year, more than 350,000 people visit this peak, which is 710 meters above sea level, to enjoy the spectacular views across Adelaide's city skyline.
This particular place will give you a panoramic view of some of the most important places of southern Australia. Like we can see the Adelaide Oval, York Peninsula, and even the city skyline can be seen here. So this is quite an interesting place that we have started with.
The gift shop here displays a range of Australian giftware and local goods and provides tourist information, local maps and brochures, and is definitely a good place to look around and spend some time.
So our second stop for the day is Mount Lofty Botanic Gardens, which is just next to the summit. Here we can see a large beds of autumn colors as well, which has made this place more colorful. So right now we are at the entrance of the Mount Lofty Botanic Gardens, and the most important thing is there is no parking fees on Sundays and public holidays. So at the summit we paid $4, that's the parking fees all day, but here there is no parking fees. So let's go through and we'll follow this map.
Mount Lofty Botanic Garden is a spectacular hills garden located over 100 hectares on the eastern slopes of Mount Lofty. In this cool temperate garden, you can discover plants from all around the world. Spring is the most popular season when the garden sees stunning mass displays of magnolias, rhododendrons and camellias, while autumn transforms this garden leaves into a panorama of scarlets, yellows and browns.
No matter if you are a botanical novice or a plant expert, you're gonna love this place because these are some amazing colors and tall trees which is making this place so awesome.
So after exploring this beautiful botanical garden, we are heading to our next destination, which is
Granite
Island. Yep.
And Victor Harbour.
Yes, so let's see how that goes. Check it out.
Less than an hour drive south of Adelaide city centre, the Fleurieu Peninsula is one of the Adelaide's most popular coastal day trip destination, and Victor Harbour is the largest and one of the most popular towns along this peninsula. This is mostly famous for seasonal whale-watching cruise tours or taking this iconic horse-drawn tram to Granite Island. So to enjoy and experience this only horse-drawn tramway in Australia and one of the very few services to run throughout the year worldwide, you have to buy a ticket on spot or online, which costs $15 per person, and the magnificent handsome Clydesdale horses will draw you along the causeway from seaside Victor Harbour to Granite Island and back.
When I was preparing the itinerary of South Australia, the first thing that struck me most was this particular point. The journey from Victor Harbour to Granite Island was one of its kind. It's only because of this tram. Yes, this tram is drawn by Clydesdale horses, the only one of its kind in Australia. This big horse, his name is Albert, he took the tram from the Victor Harbour, and this entire 650 meters bridge was covered, and he took us to the Granite Island. So this Granite Island is full of these large boulders. So we thought, why not come down and let's have a fill sitting on these boulders and taking some good pictures.
While visiting Granite Island, climb the boardwalk stairs and follow the Kaiki Trail for the spectacular views and scenery of Victor Harbour and Encounter Bay from the many viewpoints around the island. Also, if you are here during sunset, you can watch out for the little penguins that are exclusively native to this place. Approximately 100,000 visitors enjoy this horse tram ride annually, and these Clydesdale horses have carried more than 2 million passengers since 1986.
So after having an amazing horse tram ride at the Victor Harbour, we have come to this place called Port Elliot, Horseshoe Bay. So we are at the end of our day one. It has been a hectic day. We started from Sydney in the early morning, and it's almost 5:30. And the best part is South Australia is half an hour behind of New South Wales or Sydney. So we got actually half an hour more to explore. So it's time to go back to hotel, and tomorrow we will start again with a new set of itinerary where we might explore the wineries here, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
We started our next day morning heading towards McLarenville, the birthplace of the South Australian wine industry and home to some of the world's oldest grape wines. Situated between the rolling Mount Lofty ranges and Gulf St. Vincent beaches, McLarenville is a paradise of fine food, wine, art and nature. It has more than 80 cellars and vineyards, and although best known for its Shiraz, it excels in the production of ultra-premium Grenache and Cabernet varieties, frequently winning awards at the international wine shows.
Welcome to Australia's one of the oldest and the most acclaimed wine region. This place is indeed a foodie's capital. Why not? It boasts almost 80 plus cellar doors and multiple varieties of culinary delicacies. This place is called the McLarenville. And why it's famous? It's famous for this particular building.
One of the most unique experiences within the locality of McLarenville in South Australia can be found at this D'Arenberg winery when you visit the famous D'Arenberg Cube. Completed in 2017, this building is noted for its distinctive geometric design, largely resembling a Rubik's Cube, inspired by the complexities and puzzles of winemaking, with its facades predominantly consisting of double-tempered glass, along with a museum, a virtual fermenter, and a wine tasting room. The cost of this building was almost $15 million to $16 million and is now one of the most iconic buildings in South Australia. They have their wine tasting zone on the top floor of the building, and here you can select your favorite wine out of 15 different wines for only $15 per person and enjoy the vast vineyard view from the top of the D'Arenberg Cube.
This building is indeed a wonderland. They have made sure that they have decorated all the parts of this building so artistically that all the nooks and corners are a photographic place. So after testing 15 different kinds of wines, we have finally chosen a sweet wine which is called the desert wine, and we're about to collect the bottle. So this is the building, the D'Arenberg Cube, which you're seeing behind us. And from that was the wine testing zone, and from there
here is the point, we have to collect the wines. But trust me, it wasn't an easy decision to choose one particular wine. So let's go and grab the bottle. I've got a receipt in here.
particular region during the summer months are filled up with grapes, red and green, and right now at the end of May during the autumn season, this entire zone has turned out to be yellow and red, and it's looking so amazingly beautiful that we couldn't stop but to step out of our car and go through this zone and take this feel of the end of autumn.
After enjoying the vast vineyards of McLarenville, we went out to explore the Hallett Cove Conservation Park, which is one of the Australia's most outstanding geological and archaeological sites, recording an Australian ice age some 280 million years ago and providing a treasure chest of more than 1700 Aboriginal artifacts. Here you can find magnificently developed glacial pavements along the northern cliff tops, which are recognized as the best record of Permian glaciation in Australia and being of worldwide significance. The park here also conserves native flora and fauna and has a beach for swimming and fishing.
So we are done with this Hallett Cove Conservation Park exploration. This view is pretty good because you're getting such a large view of the ocean. Although we couldn't enjoy the blue water view because there is no sun, the boardwalk will also give you an immense opportunity to cover all the entire area. So anyways, we are done with this.
Our next stop for the day was at Port Adelaide, which is about 14 kilometers northwest of the city centre and is a popular tourist destination with museums, restaurants and well-preserved heritage buildings.
After an hour drive, we are here at Port Adelaide, which is the closest port from the city. Here you can take this famous dolphin cruise which runs every day, and it will take you to multiple places where you can explore dolphins as well. But otherwise, this place is quite a town where you can find some historical importance in architecture and buildings. This one is famous for the regular fish market which occurs every Sunday. So yeah, we are about to spend few minutes here and then we will go ahead to the next destination.
While coming back from Port Adelaide, we stopped here across this beautiful lake called West Lakes, where every evening you can find people boating and kayaking and you can easily spend some hours gazing at them. And to end our day, we went out to experience the evening vibe at the most happening Glenelg Beach, which is Adelaide's most popular city beach, offering a buzzing vibe and a great atmosphere for all to enjoy. This place is renowned for its white beach and stunning sunsets and is also the oldest European settlement on mainland of South Australia. And with this, we have come to the end of our second episode of South Australia Travel Series, and we will see you all at the next episode. Till then, take care and do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe our channel for more such videos.